guys, and welcome to another Training Academy video here on Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is part number 7 of 8, doing lesson number 7. So these last two are going to be a little bit longer because they do involve us actually doing a flight this time. So I suspect both of them will be the same sort of flights. Maybe one with an instructor, one without. So we should be good. This one, yes, 24 minutes apparently going to take. We'll be flying from our regular training base, which we've been doing traffic patterns and the like around from Sedona, flying down to Flagstaff by the looks of it. And basically just want to fly between the two, doing basic VFR navigation. Now this is very interesting for me really, because traffic patterns I already knew a little bit about. In terms of proper VFR flying, I was never able to do it. This is why I want to actually make maybe a stream series or something on the bush trips that are in this game, which are basically, the tours I did on live streams. They're basically them, like the Fly UK tours. They're basically VFR tours. They're called bush trips in this game. There's currently 3 in the game right from the start, and they are going to be adding more as time goes on. So I'm definitely excited to give them a go. And they involve proper VFR flying, because obviously the old game, you couldn't do that, because all the buildings were not modelled. If you said, oh, turn left at this church, or turn right at this road intersection, chances are it wasn't in the game. Now, though, with satellite imagery, yeah, it will be in the game. Also, the reason for my high FPS in episodes 5 and 6, yeah, 5 and 6, so I recorded 4 of them, on the evening of the 18th, another 2 of them on the morning of the 19th, and now it's the afternoon of the 19th. I'm recording these last 2. For whatever reason, my game turned my settings down to low, which was the reason for the slightly higher FPS and the textures looking a little bit pixely. But still, saying that, now having an accidental experience on low, I literally loaded into an airliner flight later in the day, and I noticed, hang on a minute, this looks different, and I checked the graphics, and yeah, it had been turned down to low. I've turned it back up to medium now.
Flying
but yeah,
freeing. Open skies, endless possibilities, but to fully enjoy it, you need to be prepared. We're going to focus this lesson on navigation prep and procedures, the fundamentals of getting from point A to point B. Step 1.
Look at that sign while we're at this.
Between us and the ground.
Okay, so we need to take off. Looks like, yeah, we're going to be flying from Sedona down to Flagstaff. We're going to be flying to Munns Park by the looks of it. And then down to Flagstaff. Munns Park we're going to use as a VFR waypoint. If we look at our VFR map, we might be able to see it actually. Nope, doesn't look like we've got a thing turned on there. Okay. So I'm just going to keep this. I'm going to get rid of it for now. I'm going to minimize it. So that'll just stay up there for now. And we're going to go ahead and depart. So we're all set up for takeoff. Yeah, parking brake was on there, sorry. And away we go. Now I'm getting a bit more competent with this Xbox controller. I've tried doing a few landing challenges, and my landings are slowly but surely getting better. I said it does take a lot of getting used to this. It's a lot more difficult than a mouse yoke to judge properly. It's a little too sensitive for my liking, but I can't really make it any less sensitive, otherwise I won't get the full axes. But there we go. And in the air, climbing about 60 knots, just, pretty normal takeoff really, that we've been doing in some of the other videos. And make sure we trim it a little bit. Normally about 3 positions of trim. Okay, a few more positions of trim. I'm not really sure how sensitive the trim axis is, but there we go. Trim it a little bit more. There we go, that's looking pretty good. So we should now be climbing out quite nicely.
Alright, we're on.
Start to throttle back a little bit.
Keep climbing around the airport till we reach 5,800 feet.
Okay, 5,800 feet, we'll keep climbing then. Just a little bit more. Keep the power in. And we'll keep going up and up. Got another few hundred feet to climb yet, so we should see then. I don't know whether the distance on here to Munns Park comes down. Doesn't look like it. I'll start a stopwatch as well, because why not? See how long the flight is. And yeah, we'll keep climbing actually. Let's put up a little bit more. And we'll trim it a bit more hopefully. Maybe. Well, I don't know, the trim seems quite weird. Even though I trim it up, it still proceeds to sort of push down a little bit. I don't know why. I'm trimming it more and it's still... But if you let it go for a while, it does eventually get you back to normal. There we go. Now it looks like the trim has sorted itself out finally, so we can start climbing at a pretty decent rate of climb. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. The trim's a little bit old in this plane, it seems. I'm trimming it up quite a bit. Oh, too far. Too far. But yeah, I don't know, the trim does seem a little bit funny in this trim. Maybe it's because I'm using an Xbox controller to do it. Maybe. But yeah, it does seem a little bit funny. But anyway, we're in the air now. I think we're still climbing. I think we're basically straight ahead from the airport, aren't we? I'll make a little left turn then, because we haven't gone quite as straight as maybe I wanted to. Yeah, I don't know, the trim's being strange, as I said. Sometimes even with this trim, we're managing to climb pretty well, and then other times not. It's a little bit funny. But you can see we're in the air, slowly climbing towards 5,800 feet. And so there's the airport behind us. And this thing should have reached 5,800 feet. Nope, the trim is being funny again. That's like, I haven't adjusted the trim, but you know.
Good navigation starts with good departure prep. Let's set up the aircraft for the first leg of your trip.
Set cruise altitude.
Check. Now for your heading. When you need to set and maintain a heading, you'll want to rely on your heading indicator. Compasses are prone to errors, especially during turns or while accelerating or decelerating.
I think that's a heading bug there and there.
Go ahead and position your plane above the airport.
Oh, maybe I've slightly missed this then. Maybe I should have turned it a bit more after departure, because if I've got to fly directly over the runway, maybe I should have... I don't know, it did say climb around the airport, didn't it? So maybe I missed that part. I think some of the fine details in this sim, in terms of the instructions in the tutorials, could be slightly better, maybe. Just trying to get the hang of the trim, really. Where even is the trim in this thing, so I can do it without using the Xbox controller? Because that might be better. Because somewhere around here there should be like a trim wheel or lever or something. I did not see that. Oh, there it is. There's the trim. How do I get the yoke back? There. Okay, so there's the trim. Doesn't look like I can move it around like that. But yeah, basically I think I should have climbed around the airport, so this flight has been made mildly longer now. But yeah, it looks very nice out there. I haven't seen there's a massive difference between medium and low in terms of terrain. In terms of the thing with the difference between low and medium, like it was raining outside, and that's the reason I changed the settings. It was raining, and I was like, hang a minute, shouldn't I be getting rain on the windshield? Like, that was one of the issues I ran into. So it does make a difference. But yeah, I don't know what. So I want. I'm not really good with the trim, honestly. But yeah, basically, unfortunately, I think because of what I've done here, I should have been climbing around the airport, I think. I didn't. I actually just climbed straight out. So I think I missed that part or something. It did say it in the text, actually. Also, somehow I've lost 400 feet. I don't exactly know how I've lost 400 feet. But I have. So that's a bit odd. The trim's been quite weird, really. I mean, I have now trimmed it quite a bit upward. You know, and still, I don't know how quick the trim wheel actually moves, that's the thing. So if I move it using the wheel, look, it's an awful lot better. So maybe I'll do that from now on. I'll use the wheel to do it, rather than using the Xbox controller controls, which are, again, I have found this, a lot of the buttons on the Xbox controller, they're not great. If you hold them down, they go very quickly. and if you just tap them, they go crazy slow. It's the same with the
One
throttle.
last bit of departure prep. We need to validate the time. That's a fancy way of saying start the clock.
Oh,
On the nav log, you can see our next
There.
waypoint, Guns Park. It's
Yeah.
a 41-degree heading, about 5 minutes away.
that's what the clock's for then. So we'll keep this
Navigation
up.
is basically flying a given heading for a given amount of time.
So we'll keep that up. Actually, I don't really want to keep it up. I can put it on my second monitor, but then you guys won't see it.
You'll always have at least a range for your current position.
That's pretty good then. So we keep a heading of 041 then.
We all know speed can increase or decrease depending on the wind. That's why at your next waypoint you'll want to compare your estimated time en route with the actual time flown. Validate your estimate and your progress.
So basically, we're just going straight ahead like this. I want to try and trim the plane out, but as I said, I'm having trouble with the trim because when you let go, the plane starts to push down, and then if you wait long enough, it starts to push up again. So it's kind of a bit odd in that way. Like I said, using a controller for it doesn't appear to be the best, right? There we go. Right, I want it about there. Yeah, using the wheel is a lot easier than using the controller to do it. It's more sensitive. Maybe a little too sensitive, actually. So that's neutral, look. It says neutral. If we go one more bit, maybe. I don't know what altitude I'm meant to be at, either. I mean, that waypoint looks quite high up, but... You know, our cruise altitude was, what, 5,800 feet? I'm actually a little bit higher than that now. Wait, am I at 7,000? If I am, how did I climb that much? I have not climbed that much. Oh, who knows. As I said, I'm trying to get the unfortunately, I can't just control the plane with the Xbox controller because it's a bit sensitive, so obviously using the trim is quite important, but then I'm trying to get my head around that. It's a little bit weird. With the controller. It's a lot better with the mouse, so I'll just try and... The problem is the mouse is actually too sensitive, so it knocks it quite a bit every time I move it. Well, there we go. That looks pretty neutral to me, so I think we'll stick to that setting of trim. Maybe if we use a little bit of throttle as well, obviously throttle can also balance it out. So maybe if we do a bit of that as well. Although the trim's being weird, I have not even adjusted it, look, and it was going from being minus 200 feet per minute to now plus 500, and I didn't even adjust the throttle that much, so I don't know whether it might be a bug. It might just be the fact that my method of trimming is not particularly good, as in you're meant to use a wheel of some kind or something, like that. Obviously I'm just using Xbox controller buttons. Now I'm meant to reach this golf course after 4 minutes and 57 seconds. The thing is, the problem with this, the game is like, yeah, and validate your speed. Well, how can I validate my speed? It does not say anywhere how quick I'm meant to be going on that nav log. Also, somehow I've climbed another 300 feet despite not really having much of a vertical speed. I don't know, this thing does seem to like climbing though. Interestingly. Even when I'm not really doing anything with the trim, it just climbs anyway. Anyway, okay, we'll head outside then and take a look at this Mun's Park. I actually can't see anything down there. Don't see anything in particular. Yeah, what is this plane doing? The trim is being random, honestly. It might just be my way of flying it or something, but I'm not actually adjusting the trim at all, and yet sometimes it goes minus feet per minute, and sometimes it goes positive. So it's climbing and then descending, climbing then descending. I mean, I know there are a few VNav bugs in this game, but that shouldn't affect a plane like this. I think what it is as well, when I go to turn left or right, I do slightly knock. It's very sensitive in Xbox controller, because obviously it's the same axis that does the elevators, that does the ailerons. You just move it in a different way. So when it's this sensitive, it can cause a few issues. As I said, I would like to get a joystick or something. I mean, at the moment, even if I wanted one, they're not actually in stock. Right, I've looked on Thrustmaster's website, and literally none of theirs are on stock. Logitech, none of theirs are in stock, so who knows why. I guess there's high demand, maybe because of the new sim or something, but yeah. So we're making our way down to Mun's Park, and then it's another 6-7 minutes then to get to Flagstaff. So, yeah. I don't know, by the looks of it, this waypoint is way higher than I am, which is a little bit unusual. I can't actually see my waypoints or anything on the VFR map either. I don't think this thing has an autopilot, so I can't go setting that. Okay, the trim seems pretty neutral now. It's a bit random, really. It kind of feels random, the trim, even though I haven't adjusted it for ages, but we keep going up, down, up, down. I mean, if you look at the thing on the plane, it says that the trim is neutral. Why can't I click anything in here? What's happened here? I can't click anything inside the plane. Hello? Yeah, okay, something's gone wrong with my mouse. Okay, it lets me pick things on this menu. Okay, something's gone a little bit strange. Okay, I guess we're not using the mouse for anything then. I guess we'll have to trim with this anyway. Little bit strange.
You made it
Oh,
to Munns Park.
did it correctly, did I?
We've
Oh,
got
nice, follow the highway.
Flagstaff Pulliam Airport.
And it took us a minute longer than
To
planned.
navigate is to follow identifiable landmarks like highways. And just so happens we have one below us.
Yes. So we're following this highway now to Flagstaff. So this is what I mean by proper VFR flying. You cannot do this in FSX. It's really cool. So you can see they made a little left turn, quite a gentle left turn, maybe not quite as gentle as I would have wanted, but as I said, Xbox controller. This thing is now pitching down rather than up, as it was earlier. That's, again, a little bit strange. I don't really understand the whole trim concept with this controller and this sim. It does seem to be a little bit... It's meant to keep it at one steady altitude. It's not meant to just go up and down all the time while I'm not actually doing anything. But though it seems right now, it seems pretty good, so hopefully it stays like that. Trim it up one notch. What? And then it starts going down. Logic? I have no idea. I mean, in the tutorial it said it's down to go up and up to go down. I didn't actually hit anything, so it's weird that it just suddenly started going down like that. Right, where's this highway? We want to follow slightly to the left of it so I can actually still see it. I trimmed it a bit more. I think I've trimmed it too far now. Oh, how did the camera just move? What did I just do? I can't reset it. What do I do to the camera? The camera's stuck now. Oh, there we go. That's better. I think I pressed the button to trim without actually doing it properly. Right. Again, I have no idea what's going on with this trim, as I've already said, I think. I've probably said it 1,000 times in this video. It's a nice looking highway down there, actually. I actually turned the cars down from 50 to 30, because I don't actually look at things like cars on the ground that often, so, you know, for the sake of extra FPS, I decided to turn them down a little bit, but even on 30, to be fair, I mean, 30 out of 100, and there's still what I'd call a realistic amount of cars down there. I mean, I don't know how busy the roads get in America, but that looks pretty good, really, doesn't it? So our airport is somewhere over there, and obviously, yeah, we're basically just following the highway. I think I've got the trim thing under control now. It seems to be not climbing anymore. It's sticking around the 7,400 feet area, which it has done now for a considerable amount of minutes. So I think I finally got it correct. I think it's also when I turn, because of how specific you have to be with an Xbox controller. I think I'm accidentally going up and down when I'm going left to right. As I said, I mean, I might have to, like, write to the developers at this point going, where's my mouse yoke? Because it has annoyed me a lot, really. You know, FSX had a really good system there with the mouse yoke. It was almost as good as a joystick. It was very accurate, but I tried mapping a few controls to the mouse, because it's not by default, and it doesn't work. It has to be a mouse yoke, which is basically the controls follow the cursor, basically, so you can see what you're doing. It's quite, I mean, it's not as good as a yoke or a joystick, as I said, but it's pretty good, really. We're still following this little, I think we need to actually trim it up a few notches, maybe, because we are actually going slightly lower, look, now, overall. As I said, I don't know, this thing's vertical speed does seem to fluctuate a little bit, even without actually touching anything. Also, I don't get it. I'm pretty sure like this is in calm conditions, these tutorials, and yet the plane does seem to get blown left and right a slight bit. So maybe it isn't in calm conditions, who knows. But yeah, we're doing pretty good actually. We're just cruising along. I wanted to record episode 8. I think I might still have time to do that. But yeah, this solar flight obviously a little bit longer. It looks quite nice down there. Maybe not the best textures. Obviously, if I turn it up to Ultra, I'd probably get much better textures. However, my 3 gig of VRAM graphics card, no, it's not handling that. But as I say, I'm pretty impressed really. I mean, this graphics card, remember, is under recommended spec. It's a little bit higher than minimum spec. It's somewhere in that range. It's got less than 4 gig of VRAM. It's got more than 2. It's worse than a 970, but it's better than a 770. And overall, what on earth is that? Okay, maybe there's a few bugs there. It's not too bad. You know, it's not too bad. So yeah, we should be reaching Flagstaff in about 2 minutes. We're only 3.5 miles away, so if I press X, it should zoom in on the airport now. And it is, yeah, and you can see that I finally got the trim under control. I've been maintaining 7,400 for a considerable amount of time now. Now, it still wants me to follow the highway, but the highway is actually going off a different way now. But I guess I'll still follow the highway then. Where's it gone? There it is. So it's further away down. It's gone in the trees now, the highway. Oh, there it is. Never mind. We've actually shortcut it a little bit. So that's kind of nice. And you can see there's our airport over there, 2.5 miles. I can't actually see it yet, despite it being 2.5 miles away. So for now, we're just following the game's advice and following the highway. And you can also see highways on the VFR map. As I think something's gone wrong with my mouse. This happened to a YouTuber I was watching. He actually had to restart his sim. There was some slight bugs going on with the mouse. So maybe that's what's happened. Yeah, my mouse appears to have totally lost functionality in the game. But it's still working here, look. It's still working in the control menu. I said, I have actually experienced quite a lot of problems with the control. I hate the controls in this game. It's the default controls are not very good. And also they are just in general, things like the cameras. What it is, I like how they were in FSX. And in my opinion, they didn't need touching, but they were touched, and they're worse. So, I don't know, I guess that's their choice, isn't it, really? The game developers, but never mind. We're actually losing a little bit of altitude now, so I think we're going to trim it a little bit up still. Obviously, I can't adjust the trim with the mouse wheel anymore, because that's decided to break. You can see there's the airport. I am slowly getting the hang of the trim. So basically, an Xbox controller, it is very good to fly with. It's nice. No, not as good as a yoke. Possibly not even as good as the mouse yoke. But overall, once you get the hang of it, it is actually pretty good. It's not too bad, right? I don't think we can follow this highway anymore. The airport's over there. So I don't really understand why we're still following this highway, actually. Although I can't actually see the airport, funnily enough. And also, I think if I'd stayed at 5,800 feet, I think I would probably currently be in the ground. So I'm kind of glad this thing's actually climbed. Because some of this ground around here looks higher. Okay, if I run into another bug in this tutorial, I know, because number 5 bugged out a bit as well. I'm following the highway and I've gone past the airport, so what have I missed? I've been following this highway the entire time. I did not miss it once. You can see I've definitely gone, yeah, I've gone over now. Unless this highway loops round. Wait, is that the airport? No. Is that an airport though? That looks like an airport. The airport's back that way, look, so something's gone a bit weird. I'm going to start turning round, and I think what's happened is maybe I've triggered. You know how I skipped out a very small portion of the highway? I'm thinking maybe there was a trigger point in there that would trigger the instructor to tell me to go somewhere. This is what happened in number 5. I didn't quite trigger the correct point. And again, it does annoy me quite a bit, really. It's like, you know, I shouldn't have to do it exact. Like, I followed the highway pretty well, and I ended up at the airport, so in real life it wouldn't matter. You know, but in this game, I guess it must be a matter of like a tick-a-box thing, you know, when you play a lot of games like a quest, You know, it's a matter of doing something that will get the game to go, yes, you've done it. And I guess maybe it's just like coding error or something, but I said, I don't know, maybe. Also, that looks like ice to me. There is definitely a few bugs with icing still. I did a flight in the A320 this morning from Cardiff up to Belfast, and it was very cloudy and rainy, so I turned on anti-ice before I left, and the anti-ice was on the entire flight up to cruise, and yet somehow I got ice, and it didn't go away until I landed. So I don't exactly know what's happened there. Okay, I'm following the highway the other way now, and still, again, I'm getting the same error of, well, yeah, I can't actually, there's nothing I can do. I am getting a bit suspicious about these tutorials. Some of them don't seem to be particularly well done. Like, has someone actually checked these over? Or am I just not listening to the instructor? Oh, okay, there's a turn off here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and land now. I'm just going to go, and if the game yells at me, then oh well, because clearly it's a little bit bugged. I've flown back across the highway, and it hasn't triggered it. So I'm just going to go ahead and land now. I can pretty much, actually I can't even see the airfield. I think, is that it over there? Wait, the airfield's over there? That's what that's highlighting. I think that might be a point of interest that the game's highlighting. But you can see there, we're less than a mile away actually, so I don't know, the tutorial will yell at me again now for not doing it properly, but as I said, these tutorials do seem slightly bugged at the moment. They don't seem quite as good as they possibly could be. As in, you know, but luckily the bush trips obviously don't have objectives to follow. It just relies on you doing it properly yourself, so the bush trips should work okay. As I said, this, if it worked like the bush trips, where it just gave you directions and then you followed them without the need for a quest, as in, you know, a tick a box kind of thing. So the game must have thought, oh, to succeed you have to fly over this exact point, and maybe I didn't when I slightly skipped over the highway, because you know, you are meant to fly slightly to the left or slightly to the right of the highway to make sure you can still see it, but maybe the game doesn't follow that. Also, where is this airfield in question that I'm meant to be landing at? Apparently it's right here, and I do not see an airfield anywhere, so again, that makes me mildly suspicious. What on earth? The airfield's up there? Yeah, there's no airfield down there. I don't really know what it's thinking, but there's no airfield there, believe me. Unless the airfield is somewhere different to where the little box is. I can have a look on the. We're actually starting to lose a bit of speed as well, actually. But apparently, it's just up there. And there is absolutely no. I don't see an airfield anywhere. So either I'm being thick, or something is actually wrong with this tutorial. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's pause it quickly. Okay. Apparently the airfield's there. Yeah. Just there. I'm not really sure how it can be that far in the air. So if we look down, we should see an airfield. I can go into drone camera, actually. So I'll go into drone cam. If I can figure out drone cam. Oh, no, I'm trapped. This is another bug as well. I'm actually trapped outside, and I can't turn on the camera. This is another slight bug I have come across. Oh, never mind, we've still got managed to get back into the. If I hold X, it should direct me towards the airfield, so. Right, we'll turn off the pause brake key now. If I hold down X, it should direct me to the airport, yeah? I need to give it a bit more power, actually. Did I accidentally extend the flaps or something? Because somehow I'm only doing 40 knots, and I'm not really climbing. So I don't know whether that's a bug with the pause brake key or something. Anyway, but we're managing to climb out of this anyway, so never mind. I think the airspeed is picking up. So, yeah, it might just be me being kind of thick, as I said. Oh, rip. But as I said, I don't actually know where this airfield is. I can have a look on the VFR map, actually. Let's do that. That'll probably get me along the right lines again. So you can see, apparently, it's just there. Okay, well, let's try and fly to it then. So, that's where it is apparently. according to the VFR map. Maybe I'm just being silly then, but I have not seen it, and the highway goes right by. Hang a minute, is this the airport I flew right by on the highway and went, oh, this is too far away from the point for it to be the right airport? Because I did find it strange that such a small part of, like, you know, quite a small town like Flagstaff City maybe would have two airports. Oh, hang a minute, there isn't even another airport in this area. Yeah, I know what's happened. I've flown past the right airport. I did it earlier. However, for some reason, the waypoint is in the wrong place.
Close in on Flagstaff.
Oh, come on.
Airspace. Next step.
Okay, now I've triggered it somehow. I'm not even following the highway. Well, there we go.
Clearance to enter the downwind leg and
Okay.
runway 21. Keep your eyes
Something a
open.
little bit funny has happened, hasn't it? Well, I'm okay with it, as I've actually managed to trigger the tutorial bit in the end anyway. But yeah, there's clearly been a slight bug in the tutorial.
Nose to a cruise attitude.
If I pause this and look outside, that's where it thinks the downwind and things were, way over there. So clearly something has gone slightly strange. Maybe the game seems to think that this airport is in the wrong place. But you can see in the end, through not really following what the plane is doing, thanks to the VFR map, and I think what I was doing initially was okay. But I thought I'd flown past the airport because I flew past the waypoint. I guess something went totally wrong with the waypoint then. Because that waypoint was in totally the wrong place. I mean, it was labelled as the airport, meaning it should be directly above the airport, and it clearly wasn't. So something went a little bit strange there, but never mind. We're safe now. We're above the airport. We're gonna make a base turn now. Yeah. So this airport, this video's ended up being slightly longer than maybe it should have been. I don't really want to do episode number 8 now, though. I'll have to have a look at number 8. But I have a feeling number 8 will just be exactly this without the instructor. In which case I will not do a part 8, because it's basically exactly the same as this video. It'll be very boring for you guys to watch, because it'll literally be a repeat of this swarm.
So you're losing altitude while maintaining cruise attitude.
Idle it, then? Okay. I don't think that's quite accurate either. I don't think you should totally idle it. I personally don't think that. I mean, that'll let you drop a bit too much, really. You know, a bit too much speed. Again, I am on an Xbox controller, so maybe it's something a little bit wrong there. Also, this final turn, I'd turn final back now, really, if it was me, but the game wants us to go further.
On runway 21,
There we go.
We'll call this one done.
Nice! That rhymed. Also, it's not runway 21, it's runway 2 warm. I think the instructor should know that. Oh well. Anyway, well, there we go. Through all the mess that this was, we've managed to get on for a fairly decent final approach. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. These tutorials, again, you know, the game only released yesterday. There has not been a patch as of yet, like a quick release patch. There are a lot of games have. It's very common for release games to have bugs like this from launch. You know, I haven't really ever played many games that haven't had game breaking. Well, this isn't game breaking; it's an inconvenience. It's tutorial breaking, but it's not game breaking, so it's not a massive issue. I'm not. But as I said, I have checked Steam, and this game has currently only got 59% positive reviews, so maybe not quite as good as they would have hoped for. But never mind. Well, I don't know. I've been doing a few landing challenges, and I've been getting smoother and smoother landings. So let's try for one of those here. Because I'm getting back used to the Cessna now. I'm getting quite used to it. Yeah. Oh, bit of bounce. That was very smooth, and then I overcorrected. Remember, it's very sensitive, the Xbox controller. But there we go. That's actually a pretty good landing. Didn't float it or anything, so that's lovely. I'm guessing they're not gonna want me to hang down on the runway, right? The game doesn't normally want me to float around on the runway. Also, for some reason, it thinks I haven't landed.
Alright, successful VFR flight in the books.
There we
Not
go.
bad. Not bad at all.
That was good. So there we go. And that is it. Now, I am going to have a look at episode number 8 with you guys right now. As in, literally, have a look. So yeah, half-hour flight. So actually only 5 minutes longer than it said the flight would take in the menu. So actually pretty good. As I said, a little bit unfortunate that that slight bug occurred with the waypoints being slightly not. I guess I have to ignore those waypoints. I had the same problem with FSX in the missions. Those waypoints are not accurate. And in the end, I guess the tutorial did trigger itself eventually, although I was nowhere near the highway when it did trigger itself from that. And you can see here, look, this is literally just the flight back. Part 8 is exactly the same, just the flight back. So I will not be bothering to do number 8 on camera. I may try off camera, I don't know. But I'm not going to do it on camera because, as I said, it's like the difference between numbers 5 and number 6. They're literally the same, one with the instructor, one without. Those were a bit shorter, so I did them anyway. But with a long one like this, I'm just going to leave it. So that is part 7 of 7. If you guys would like to see part 8, I will record it. If you guys specifically say in the comments, please do it, I'll be happy to. That is for certain. So, but as I said, it is basically the return flight of what we've just done then. So nothing really worthwhile. I hope you guys do really enjoy this content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.